Hello and welcome here on the Tandes YouTube channel. This video will be all about using our aquarium pumps in other areas. We are here in Bavaria, actually less than 10 kilometers far from the factory where we assemble, where we build, where we manufacture our products. And this is now a piece of nature. Actually, I might have told you already in one of the previous videos, we are manufacturing our products where others have holiday, enjoy their life. And so this is a beautiful place here. Here actually, this is the Fischereiverein Königsdorf, something like the Fish Club of Königsdorf, which is a village next to us. You can sit here and enjoy the evening. I've been told that sunset here is beautiful until the very end. It's now morning and I'm going to show you something very special, so let's go. This club here is usually farming the fish on a river next to us actually, but they need a source of new fish. And in previous times they just buy them, but around 30 years ago they decided to breed their own fish. So they breed them to throw them out in the river. And this is actually the place where this magic is happening. I don't know if you're familiar with, I don't know from where in this world you are watching this video. So this is the way these guys here are doing it. They built up this fortress here. All the water is coming from a spring. Here, down here, I guess the nature here is kind of untouched, beautiful and clean. This water here is drinking water quality. I've been told that this water here was the tap water of the village next to us. Now they have a different source, but this spring here is used for the fish. The advantage of it is that the water, I guess in summer, it's never hotter than 16 degrees Celsius, and in winter it's never colder than 10 degrees Celsius. Imagine during winter, sometimes we have this amount of snow here, and during summer we can reach 40 degrees Celsius thanks to the climate change that is unfortunately happening. And so imagine this water here comes out of the spring and is not very much saturated with oxygen. In the previous 30 years, Uli and his team, I guess it was a one-man show in this time, they had the idea how to add oxygen to the water. So it's this construction here, let me show you. The water is coming from the spring and it's splashing through this grid here. So by this there is some oxygen added. And in the previous years this kind of worked. During summer or special circumstances they need to add oxygen. So they have these devices here. I don't know the English name, fancy machines actually. If you let them run, it's like a volcano of water. There's a propeller pump inside, but this machine here is draining 600 watts. A lot of energy, and here in Germany energy is not cheap. They are kind of too big for this circumstance, but they had it. Some months ago they were asking me about a solution. In our meeting room on the table they saw one of our bigger flow pumps, the MASTERSTREAM, and asked us, is it possible that we can use this to breed the fish? And they have 3 targets. So the first target is adding oxygen, okay? Like with this machine here, but it could be better actually. The second target is these fish are then put in the river. They've never seen a real current, a real flow. They've never gained muscle, you know what I mean? And this is important to be healthy as a fish. I can promise you these guys here are super serious about the quality of their fish. They want these fish to have real flow in the tank. It's like in your aquarium actually. And the third thing, and this is very similar to your aquarium, I mean if there is no flow in this tank, all the waste is a deposit on the ground. You hate it when you have to manually clean your aquarium. They hate it to drain the water and like clean it all by hand. So there is a chance that with a flow pump, like in our aquariums, you can actually have an easier life farming these fish here, or breeding these fish here. And so our first approach now was just add the flow pump. You can see it right here. The pump actually comes with this mounting mechanism. All the rest, all the steel here, you know, we are in Germany, we are a very industrial nation. They made this in 1 week from scratch to mount the pump. So this is usually custom made. Their first idea is just install it and then we already have flow. You can already see the fish dancing in the current, dancing in the flow, enjoying life in this pond. In this configuration, unfortunately, no real oxygen is added, so there's another way. You can hear the noise of the pump actually because it's very close to the surface. So the pressure, the suction force of the pump is already sucking in air. The propeller in the pump is already creating tiny little bubbles, and with the water that is sucked around, that is pushed around, we have a current and we already add a lot of oxygen in this pond. We are now testing this scenario. Imagine in the next step we are going to install a second pump, maybe down on the floor. We are thinking about building up a bridge and then installing a second pump more on the ground, so we get more flow at the other side of the pond and also more movement on the ground. But this is already fascinating for me because this is something we are used to do in our aquariums for decades, and for this purpose this is kind of new. If you are interested in this technology and how to use it, I can show you how it's done. Basically we have two different versions. We are manufacturing these pumps already since 2010, typically for bigger aquariums, very often for zoos, for public aquariums. In public aquariums you usually need an efficient pump, a very reliable pump. It's not so much about the price, it's more about a diver has to dive down in the shark tank to install it, so it has to work for a while. You understand what I mean? And so this pump is really, every pump is tested at least for 48 hours. It's really made to last, okay? It's really only one packaging. It's like if you buy a flow pump for your private tank, you have everything included. There's a power supply in it. Actually on this pump a medical grade power supply that will very, very likely never fail. So the controller of the pump and the power supply, they're in this nice shed, and then there are the cables coming out of it. This is basically the cable with a very high diameter. So imagine this pump now here on the smaller version, the 6550 is using 110 watts, but still there's only 12 volts. So it's around 10 amps, which is a lot if you know what I mean. A lot of current, and to not waste energy on the way from the power supply to the pump. This cable here is very thick, but also very, very reliable, very resistant against sunlight damage. If you are familiar with this YouTube channel, it's the same cable we are using in our other pumps, but it's only another finish on the outside. It's the same cable that we use, for example, on a 6105 for a while now. Here it's only not blue. That's all, yeah. And by the way, I'm now telling you a secret. This is the best cable we ever used, and only some years ago we transferred this masterpiece here to all our other DC flow pumps. So this is the origin, the heavy duty cable that we are now supplying you on your smaller aquarium pumps is actually coming from this pump here. So this is now 10 meters cable, and then like we've seen, the pump is mounted there. We have a separate version. It's the 6580, which means it pushes 80,000 liters per hour. This pump now needs 320 watts, which is around 3 times as much. And here we are using 24 volts. There's a lot of energy pushed through this cable, and on this version here you can get it with a 15-meter cable. So this is by far long enough that you can go from here from the grid, like in the middle of the tank, of the pond. I'm sorry, I'm from, you know what I mean. I'm comparing it to an aquarium, of course. So this is a fascinating experiment for us. It's a very novel use here as well, to breed fish, to improve the circumstances that these animals have to live with. For me it is an honor that we can use our pumps as tool to improve the quality of the fish here. It's something different to what we are used to in our aquariums, where we usually enjoy our hobby. Here it's all about reliability, about operation costs, and what do I get in return. And so we are following this. So this is the start of a aquaculture project that we are having here, of course, because it's not far from home. And this video is actually made for you if you are familiar with this kind of environment, if you are, for example, in one of these clubs, if you have the same issues with your spring and the saturation of oxygen, the MASTERSTREAM that we previously made for zoos and for public aquariums can be a game changer for you as well. I can tell you that these guys here are already very happy with it, but time will tell. And I have to be honest, in the next month I will work with them, and in a few months and most likely next summer we will come here again with the camera and then show you our lessons learned and show you the real improvements. And I'm quite sure that we will see smiling faces actually. Because Uli, who is responsible for this location here, he has a lot of experience. He's doing this for a long time. And I could really feel that he's fascinated about it. I'm very honored. This is kind of a game changer for what he's doing here every day. I'm very much looking forward to seeing the results. And of course, I will take you with me. By the way, if you have ideas how to use them, I mean, some of you might already use a similar technology. It would be very kind if you put some comments down below about your expectations, what you want to see further, what you are interested in, and then of course I will do my best to reply to you and use your input for the next video. I can only tell you I love the community. I'm doing this for you, friends. These products are made actually for you, and this is here only an example. So if you're interested in these pumps, just contact us. They are almost available everywhere in the world. There are plug-and-play solutions that kind of work for decades. I can only tell you they're on the market only for 15 years, but they work for decades. They're made to last forever, okay? Stay tuned and see what this project is going to bring us. Thank you very much for watching, and if you don't want to miss the next video, maybe about tanks, but maybe about the results of this pond here, leave a like and follow this channel. I would really appreciate it. So thank you for watching and see you in the next video.